you for that gentle reminder.
It's because I love you.
No, it's still too bright. Okay.
You're just shining from within.
Shining from within today. No, that looks ugly. Let's go. Good chin profile from here, though.
After a certain age, I think it's all just...
It's all just downhill from there.
Yeah.
I'll just walk you around my messy house today, carrying you.
That's so special. That's a good... There it is.
What, like that? That's good. Oh, okay, I'll stand and carry on.
Yeah, you can bring us to your kitchen if you want. You usually have a good setup there.
It's called propping.
Ooh, okay, I'm going to go live. Okay, as you set up. Perfect. Can you stand for an hour? 40? Well, we'll try not to make it too long.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
All right. Try to maybe do that thing you do. Do that thing you do, baby.
Yes, that thing?
The watch list. We're on Facebook Live. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. We are being extraordinarily silly this morning.
It's just one of those days.
And why not, you say?
Yeah, I mean, why? Yeah, exactly. Why not? It's a good thing, I think. It's a good thing. Let me see here. I wanted to ask you how your lawn was doing.
Oh,
I heard something about your husband and his, you mentioned something about the need to have it nice and green.
Oh, it's his therapy. Fires and grass.
No, okay, the grass, but like, do you have a lot of dandelions in your grass?
No.
I was just reading this morning a really cool article because you had done, you had posted in the Ontario Foragers and the group about...
Yeah, they're a great group. So big kudos out. We'll take that today. The Ontario Foraging group. Lynn Harper had invited me to that. She's just a really great local girl. And if you have questions about anything you see, if it's edible or not, then that's
amazing.
Super amazing. Don't pick it. Take a picture, wait for a response, and then decide. Because we're trying to pick fiddleheads.
Okay.
But the fiddleheads that we have around here are not the ones you eat. I think you can, but the ones I have here in my little area, I think the ones that you can perhaps are more of a better forest. But the ones I have here, they're not edible. Well, I think there's a special way to prepare them.
Oh, I'm sure there is amazing, different ways to do it. I was just going through some common things that are out there that we have in our area that I didn't even realize. One of the big ones, and of course they're all weeds until you realize otherwise, is purslane. Have you get that in? Do you do your husband does that, eh? The maintenance of the lawn and different things like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I would just let it.
Yeah. Purslane, I was just looking, I don't know, I know I get a lot of that in my garden, my lawn and different things like that. We don't use herbicides or pesticides on our lawn, but I think we probably get the overspray of a certain company that comes around and does the spraying of our neighbors, which, I mean, that's their decision to do. I've been doing it for years. It's not our thing very much so. My husband would let our front yard go wild if it would let him, just because he likes dandelions and all these different things, but he also likes the green, so it's kind of a combination, but he likes to wait. He just started work yesterday, so he'll be working till Monday morning, so we won't get to next week, and we haven't cut the lawn yet. I know there's a lot of people that are on the second or third cuts of their lawn already, but we haven't. And we like those dandelions come up.
Those are people who have too much time on their hands.
Well, yeah, my neighbors are all retired.
Yes.
Several years retired. And yeah, they're very meticulous with their gardens. My father's one of those people too. So, but
so yes, I talk about herbology a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe, of course, I'm going to have to take down the road, but it's all about things we can do down the road, isn't it? I talk about cleavers all the time. So I saw some cleavers. Unfortunately, they're just right on the side of the road. So I'm not going to pick those or use those because I never know who's shitting or pissing or what dog or how much chemical from the road and stuff like that. The cleavers are a natural herb that grows across Ontario. And you can dry that. You can use it in a tea, and that's for your lymphatic system.
Yeah, because I know you've mentioned those quite a bit, but I didn't realize that was a wild herb. We're gonna have to maybe try to find a picture of that because I don't know which ones that even would be, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a little teardrop, little mouse ear kind of shaped leaf, grows in a certain pattern, and it has a little white flower. And then right now the morels are out. The morels are out in the forest as well, which I don't have any here. I have to go looking, but
that's something you really have to be trained on to go looking because
exactly.
Mushrooms and different things like that.
Honestly, there's very good instructions on the Ontario Foraging site. Like
wonderful.
And they even link. There is a woman on there that does a little course online as well. I honestly think that may start tonight, but so the ferns are out, the morels are out. Just so many fantastic things. I missed talking about foraging and doing things yourself. I had missed the log inoculation from Seasons Pharmacy and the Ugly Barn.
Oh yes, the mushrooms.
They're doing log inoculation, and again, that's sort of like the sourdough starter. It's much easier than you think it is. We overthink.
Yeah, it's just something that's kind of towards the edge of like that. I would say it's more advanced gardening and advanced kind of situation where people can do, tomatoes and basil and different things like that. And it's a little bit more complicated with the broccoli and the cauliflower. I've never had much luck with that stuff. And then you get into the stuff like mushrooms and foraging and different things.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I was just reading
about a lot of the herbs that you see, like the mullein, I think that's how you say it. And those are those really broadleaf weeds. They're very, very fuzzy.
Okay.
And they're a perennial weed, and they're more of a traditional one. They grow, and they're very tall, and they have yellow flowers. They're used for medicinal purposes as well. You can boil them and then squeeze them with the cheesecloth. They're for respiratory and things like that. Funny enough, I was reading last night about creeping Charlie. So creeping Charlie is a little violet veining super evasive species that my husband has an obsession over. Like, I brought it up from down south with all of my plants from the farm, and it's his vice. It's his like.
It is it, eh? I think it's so pretty, to be honest with you.
I can't divide my plants and take them to the cottage because.
Oh, you might bring it out there.
Right. But as I was reading last night, okay, stop it, please. This cat, seriously. Creeping Charlie has a multitude of herbal, sorry, that my lighting today is crazy. Multitude of medicinal purposes. Like,
oh, really?
Oh, it's edible. It has let me see here. So it's a fresh herb. The leaves, the flowers, and the stems can be eaten in salads. It's part of the mint family.
Oh, that makes sense right there when you say that, because mint is crazy.
Crazy, I know, right? It's a weed if you let it be a weed.
Yeah,
right.
Love that. Same as mint, yeah.
Yeah, so the leaves are part of that. It can be used in stews and omelets and things like that. I said, James, Those plants are there for a reason. Maybe because I wanted to say to him, they're there for a reason, sweetheart. Perhaps because you need them.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Hey,
I find the flower that's around you the most, or the things that are around you the most, are the things that you need.
hello, dandelions, greens. Everybody
I
needs them.
know. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
people are like, shut up about the greens, Wendy.
yeah. Shh, that's enough now, Wendy. No, the dandelion is a perfect example,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Trisha Hewitt, 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 is from Family First Chiropractic, and on her Facebook page yesterday, she showed everything that she does with all of her dandelions. Like her yard is a
Yeah. I might have seen that. I saw somebody somebody
yeah.
holding a bowl with the flowers in it, and
Yeah, so
yeah,
that
that
she
was hers.
showed, and someone else had made, or maybe she did, but someone else made the dandelion jelly.
Oh,
And
really? I haven't
yeah,
seen
beautiful,
that.
bright yellow. Honestly, my husband would think I would be crazy if I was out picking. I wouldn't know where I could find other than the
Just say,
neighbors.
it's okay, honey, I'm getting the weeds. It's okay.
Gosh. And then there's clover at the cottage, and I love clover, but
Yeah, clover's always been nice. Yeah.
exactly. I'm like, anything so I don't have to cut the grass, for sure.
I know I planted, I seeded a bunch of thyme in part of my gardens, and it didn't take for the first couple of years. The rain washed it away and everything else. But one part of my whole grass area is all thyme now, and it's just so amazing. We walk through it, and it just smells so nice. If you think I could try to get it in a specific spot that I wanted it, though, no, it has to be someplace totally different.
It's
But
funny, we talk about mint. Sorry.
yeah.
I can't get it to grow for the life of
Oh, you
me, but everyone's
can.
like, oh yeah, you don't want to start growing mint.
Well, yeah, there's some really invasive plants that I have trouble with too. I have goutweed. I don't think this is one of the ones that you can eat or anything, but I have goutweed in all crazy spots in my yard, but I try to pull it because Guy really likes the variegated colors of it and everything else, and how it just sort of fills in. And I like that aspect too. Try to put it in other places where I want it. No, it won't grow. It won't take. It won't do anything. I don't know. But
Is it ornamental? It's a ground elder.
what's this, creeping Jenny?
No, the goutweed.
The goutweed, yeah. I've seen
It's
in
called,
other areas that people have used it as, a ground cover for sure, and put it specifically like around trees and big yards, and it's beautiful. But it
and
is
they
invasive.
can be used, the leaves, before it comes into flower, can be used in salad soups.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. See, that was not one of the ones on my list. I had picked out a list of different ones that this lady that I picked up on a website was talking about. She had lived in the forest bush, but I don't know, for 2 years without having to go to the grocery store. And she just lived on everything that was there, including stuff like purslane, which is one of these ones that are just, again, we kind of look at and go, oh my God, and try to pull it out and everything else. But purslane itself is one of those really leafy green vegetables, again, which is, packed with just going by what I'm reading here, packed with magnesium and potassium and calcium, and has one of the highest levels of ALA, so the omega
Oh
3
yeah.
fatty acid.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. And she was also talking about acorns, the little
Yeah. We have
acorns.
acorns. We have acorns all over the cottage,
Yeah.
right? We have tons of oak trees.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have your beautiful acorn trees, but apparently you can take them at a certain time, I guess after they've ripened, boil them and crush them down into a flour. And it's a really good protein, apparently, which I never knew. And this is really neat. Stuff like thistle. So we talk about stuff like milk thistle for our livers and different things like that. But she says that any part of the thistle, any thistle in the family is amazing to eat, different aspects of it. And she says, like, even birds know that the seeds of any kind of thistle are really, really good for liver detoxification. on a very milder situation, obviously, because you're looking at the fresh plants. You're always going to get a milder version than the dried concentrated versions. But something like St. John's wort, that grows wild in this area as well. And it's used as, they call it a toxic weed, but it is a medicinal weed as well. If you have the knowledge to be able to.
Which one is that?
St. John's wort. It's the one.
Be careful with it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's a noxious weed, but definitely with assistance and knowledge, it's one of those things that can really helpful, from the flowers to all these different things. I mean, even in my garden alone, I don't know how to use it, but I love echinacea. Bee balm is one of those really amazing. I love it for my the birds and the bees and everything else like that. But obviously echinaceas, that's the one where you really need for your vitamin C intake. It's the root that you use, and some of the flowers. It's just so many wonderful things. Bee balm doesn't usually grow wild in this area, but fireweed.
I would love even lemon balm. So some people have lemon balm that grows wild. And that's wild, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of really wonderful things out there that I don't know enough about, but I just find really, really cool, especially stuff that's really in our area, because, you'll know in certain areas of the world, you have things that are more native. And usually the people that have been, generation after generation after generation, been in that area, they need this substance in their lives, and it's just amazing. Just getting back to the purslane, I was just really fascinated with it. And they say purslane might be actually, they use it for everything from, they juice it, they boil it, they pickle it, drench it in butter. You can eat it in a salad, saute it. They say it may even be prehistoric. It's one of these ones that are just, because it's almost like a succulent kind of texture, like a waxy texture. And they've been using it for thousands of years. So really, really, I don't know. This kind of stuff is really kind of cool. I've got some recipes here, actually. I'll put it up, the recipes that are from this website.
Oh, beautiful.
In our show notes today. So just, when you're out cleaning out the yard, and, taking in consideration that you have not put herbicide or pesticide or anything on your grass, and you don't have any coming in from other people's lawns and stuff too, that you can, take this stuff in and, try it out.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Yeah. Personally, it's not going to bother you. So
yeah, I think it's fantastic. And there are, you can tap the birch trees, that you can and make a birch syrup. You can make a drink the birch aspect. Well, even just the regular water.
Cedar is another one.
Yeah, cedar's another great one. Remember, I was doing the cedar bath, so you can take the young tips off the cedars, and you can use them in baths. I wouldn't recommend drinking it as a tea. That's a little difficult. I did make some, but it was very strong, and I'm not sure I did it right. Joseph Pitawaki, I'm going to say that wrong. Well, he's the garden. Anyways, we will find it and add it to it. So he is one of the leading elders. Well, he's been designated medicine man. And originally from, I think, from Manitoulin area. And so he teaches all across Ontario the use of all the medicinal plants. Nice. So he teaches at the university, or Fleming College or something like that, in Peterborough. And him and his wife, Christy, and their daughter. But that's what he does. And he did the Creator's Garden is what his Facebook page is, and his website. And so he goes through and talks about how to make salves, and how to use willow, and what all these things are for. And that goes back to the doctrine of medicine. That's what it's called, isn't it? Where you understand how bladder works for the bladder. Willow is for flexibility. There's different, like broccoli's for your brain. all sorts of things like that, where you know that the God has created these certain vegetables and fruits and plants specific for your body. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
the comparison between the shapes and what it's actually needed for in the body is really amazing. The kidney beans, the shape of the kidney for the
Oh,
kidney,
absolutely.
all these different things. Yeah, there is a lot of relevant relevancy, is that a word, with regards to that, and I've seen it lots. I'm sure I probably have a couple of pictures where it shows the picture of the fruit or the vegetable and the corresponding um, part of the body that it's really, really good for. If I find it,
Yeah.
I'll put it up there today somewhere. But yeah, just coming right back to our roots and understanding. I mean, obviously, I have no, other than just, normal gardening teachings from my parents. I have no formal gardening teachings, but my girlfriend up in Cartier, no, she's not in Cartier. Anyways, up north a little bit from here in Chelmsford, Geneva Lake, she does a lot of herbalist and foraging and stuff like that up and around her house. And she's got a lot of, between her house and her camp up on Geneva Lake, she's got a lot of area that she forages a lot and does her own comfrey ointments and all these different things. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
so cool.
whole different sect of different things that definitely could get into it. And it's so fascinating, but how many things do you want to take on? I guess it's where
So,
your deepest passions lie.
exactly. I think, if you ever, I mean, I don't know how this will work going forward, but in Girl Guides and in Boy Scouts or Brownies or Pathfinders or those types of things, or Cubs and Boy Scouts, they do teach how to survive in the wilderness. They do teach how to use cattail roots and cattail stems and milk thistle pods, and that's where I originally did learn a lot of my stuff. And then in 4-H, so 4-H is not so popular up here in Northern Ontario, although there's a really good one out of Chelmsford there, and she does a really great job. And so if your kids need an activity or you're looking for something a little more structured, 4-H is a great youth group to learn how to do many, 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 many things. So I was involved in 4-H even as a kid. My mom used to teach 4-H, and then I actually went on with leadership camps across North America with them. But they taught weed identification, and they taught foraging, and they teach outdoor living skills, and they teach showmanship, and of course animal care, and they do fancy things like rabbits and chickens, fancy ones. So they have to learn how to show them as well, and how to raise them, and then they teach you how to do cost. But they also do the home ec stuff. Like, these are great basic skills that we should all know. How to balance your bank book, right? How to do your
sew
taxes,
a button on,
how to break bread, how to sew a button. The sewing club is so important. How to sew buttons and make zippers or sew pillows. No one does. But these are some really great groups. They do that the Girl Guides and the Boy Scouts are so perfect because you earn badges, and those are things that you learn. And I still today, and many that I know, will still always refer back to their days when they learned those silly things, right?
Yeah, we thought it was silly at the time and a pain in the ass, because I remember going to home ec and doing all these things. That's where I learned to cook. That's where I learned to sew. Not the best sewer, but
exactly. But
know how to do it if I need to. If it comes down to it, I can sew myself a shirt, But yeah, it's I don't know. These are things that I hear on one hand that a lot of homeschoolers, before all of this fun stuff started with everybody homeschooling, but a lot of the homeschoolers are more people that are very much, have to follow curriculum, but that's fine. And they do that to, the way that they do it, but they also throw in a lot of these other life skills, like you're saying, and get the kids out into the nature and get kids out doing things that normally they wouldn't get through normal everyday curriculum, which is
Yeah,
So
exactly.
which is
Right.
really
Well, again,
good.
they can't facilitate that aspect of trying to incorporate outdoor living, outdoor skills, how to start a fire, how to, um, survive.
Yeah.
And it's just skills that aren't adapted anymore, right? So,
No.
I mean, kudos to all the groups, and I know that there's a large growing group of people wanting to forage.
Yeah.
But again, it's about, and I find that this is actually the Ontario Foraging Group is a really great group because they teach you how to be respectful of the things that you find and how to pick them and how to pick, what to do. And ramps, sorry, the wild leeks are out right now as well. Although I haven't seen any in this area, I think maybe we're too cold or is not yet. Like we're still like a month.
It's only been a week that things have had no snow, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Because in central Ontario, all the leeks, the wild leeks are out, and
I remember my grandpa used to pick them and pickle them, and they had jars and jars of wild leeks.
yeah.
I never went with him when he did it, but yeah, it's something that so many
Well, why
people
would
don't
you?
do. Yeah.
Why would you?
Anyways,
No,
yeah. So it's a pretty cool conversation. I think it's something that I'm hoping that will catch on as because things are shifting so much right now, and I mean even something as simple as I know talking about it again, we talk about it a lot, is this garden tower where the simple act of teaching children how to grow things from a seed, and right up to the point where they're harvesting and then eating and making salads or preparing the vegetables and fruits, the strawberries, different things that you get off of this garden tower. It's not outdoors, but it's indoors, and it's still that teaching tool that is such an amazing thing that can be I was listening to one, I don't know, it was a podcast or a webinar or something about this. This kind of thing is going to be the future, though, and because it's going to be becoming something like everybody has a barbecue, well, everybody's going to have one of these garden towers because it's just so essential to have these nutrients and to pass down the torch to our children and everything else to understand how healthy eating is going to be so important, and also learning how to forage and understand that stuff like dandelion. This has become a lot of a big thing now. People understand and know that you can harvest dandelion and make teas and jellies and wines out of it, and as people.
my dad picking and making dandelion wine.
Yeah. It was, yeah, I remember, a lot of, the older days when we don't have grapes up here in Northern Ontario. So even in a lot of Southern Ontario, you didn't have grapes until they started down in the Niagara region.
You can propagate grapes up here.
Now you can, yeah.
But yeah, in the old days, it's funny you were saying that about, every household will eventually have something like this because supply and demand and sustainability and everything like that. I was laughing to myself going, there was a day that not every household had a TV or let alone a computer, right? That wasn't too long ago. Now it's like, who doesn't have, like, it's just.
Or a microwave. Do you remember when you got the first microwave in your house? Or dishwasher?
And I think we have the first microwave still at the cottage. So.
It's about this big. With a dial on it.
Don't stand close to that. It works like a charm, like for defrosting, because you always leave things too late.
Yeah.
And don't stand close to that, please. Step away.
No. You can see the waves coming out at you.
Yeah, exactly. Put that radiation vest on. But no, it works. It's a unique time where we see the knowledge of things come to fruition, and then how people are adapting to utilize it in the best of their abilities for everything, right? Yeah. What's old is new again.
And with the help of the internet is so amazing, because then you can just go Google, what can I learn? What can I dig out of my front yard that I can eat tonight?
Yeah.
Or just, the advent of like indoor gardening and the technology that we have that we didn't have 20 years ago,
Yeah.
which is so amazing. So this is going to be, yeah, it's really, people have been very negative about this time, but I think this is really exciting times, I think, to see how things are going to shift in the perspective and the whole thought process with regards to health and eating and all these
Yeah.
things.
You know, really, we can just thank The Walking Dead for preparing us for the zombie apocalypse.
I didn't see that coming.
None of us would have been prepared. None of us would have been prepared.
Yeah, the zombie apocalypse. Well, maybe we should just leave it right there. Call it a day.
Call it a day. That's it. Well, no, it's true. I mean, you know, these are things that some people took it a little too seriously because of friends who own Ramacos, and the people had stocked up on ammunition. And I know people in the States probably that have stocked up on ammunition, right? Because that's not a necessity. So those would have been the first stores that were shut down, right? And, you know, God forbid people couldn't do the bear hunt and, or go to do moose or do pheasants, which is, you know, if you live up north and you survive on venison and bear and all the
it's your livelihood. Yeah.
What you need to be prepared for those things. And you know, if the push comes to shove, yes, of course, I would have to hunt because I'm a meat eater. So I would hunt, and we had a beautiful rabbit in the front yard this morning.
Oh,
not big enough though.
you're just killing my heart. Oh my God.
No, I'm just teasing you. And then I looked at the meaning of it. I was on the phone with another girlfriend. She's like, "What does it say in the Bible about rabbits?" And I said, "Well, they really don't talk about rabbits in the Bible." And but in Jewish law, they are unclean. Not sure why, but they're unclean.
Making babies. I don't know.
And then you look up what it means vision-wise, right? Or dream-wise.
Yeah.
It's about sexuality.
Yeah.
James saw it first. I'm like, James, whoo. Nice.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. I know I put out the bird feeders this year, and I haven't got many animals. I've got the gopher or the groundhog, whatever you want to call them. That's
and what
under my shed.
Gopher? Did you look?
No, I didn't. And then I've got a pair of blue jays that I've been hanging around. I think they just live in the pool house next door, and they come over and grab all the seeds. But I don't know. The groundhog is the new one for us. But a lot of people really associate animals with visits from people that have passed passed over, and this person's come down to visit them, different birds and whatnot.
Well, since my sister passed, everyone's having cardinal
I love
conversations. So not here. They're not really local up here. So
there are some up here.
There are some. If you see them, then you're like,
yeah.
You know,
yeah, I haven't seen them at my house, unfortunately, but yeah,
no.
Cardinal's the best.
So my parents have a lot of cardinal things, and I'm just like, no, you don't need more things to collect. Okay. Forgive me, Mom. I said it. Sorry. Deanna would say that too. You don't need more things to collect. The symbolism of the groundhog is often, is if the groundhog is your spirit animal,
which he might be, I don't know.
Yes. It's sending you an important message of what you need to understand and learn. And I don't know if I'm not making fun of, because some people do really believe in this.
Oh yeah, no, it's a valid thing for sure.
Yes, but it's for you if it's living with you, and it means, and because this is how you roll. Groundhog is a symbol of boundaries and hard work. The groundhog people are ready to work hard in order to reach their goals and to get a reward for their efforts. The symbolism of this animal is also related to the ability to watch out for any danger that may appear in its surroundings. The groundhog knows its surroundings, and it is ready to move to a safe place at any moment.
Yeah, I'll have to concentrate on that a little bit.
Yeah, so this is just from dreamingandsleeping.com. So I just kind of Googled the first thing and whatever came up. It is also, if the groundhog is your animal totem, you'll have to read it, Wendy. It's kind of cool. It may also be warning you to pay more attention to your diet because you have problems with your metabolism.
Well, yeah, I know that for a fact. Don't need a groundhog to tell me that.
Well, there you have it, folks.
That just sort of amplifies it. Yes.
Look to nature for all your answers.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. I don't know how you get your spirit animal or your animal totem. I know there's like little ceremonies and stuff, but
Andrea.
Yeah.
Oh, gracious.
Here,
Pardon?
Andrea up here, up the road.
Yes. Yeah. Is she up there from you?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yes, she does. Hello, everybody. We have quite a few people that have joined. Hello. Sorry for I've just been very on here this morning. I apologize. But yeah, so Andrea does do
animal spirits and totems and stuff like that. I'd have to, maybe I'll have to ask her because it's something.
If you believe in the
really fascinating, but I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But also there's many symbolisms, even in the Bible, for many animals as well. And if you see them in visions and dreams, whether you're biblical or not, or spiritual, there's much symbolism in that as well. If you can remember. I had crazy dreams last night. Do you think you need to get up and journal them? You get some crazy shit going on, journal it because it means something.
Yeah. So. There's a it always comes back to vitamins and supplements, Wendy, but there's a B vitamin apparently that'll help you with your dreams to remember them more.
Remember?
Yeah. You're lacking in a little bit of a B vitamin. One of them anyways. I have to go through my books to.
On the sequex, if you do delta or theta before you go to bed, then you get a little more crazy dreams too. So
yeah, I don't have a sequex mat, but a lot of times on my phone I have an app. It's called what's it called? And I usually tell a lot of my clients this app too because it's kind of cool. It's Insight Timer. It's a free app and it's got like thousands and thousands of music and meditations and all different kinds of things. I use it just for some sleep before bed.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
They have it at like different hertz. So the one I used last night was 1.5 hertz by binaural beats, they call it. So it's a same idea, but you're getting it through here. Yeah. So I use that to go to sleep a lot.
Yep, the binary beats and all of that type of work with reprogramming the brain that's a lot with psychology work, a lot with reprogramming the brain from concussions. In concussion work, lots like the heart math has a lot to do with the binary beats and reprogramming the sleep modes, all of those different things. And then the muse is also another one that they use. So maybe that's another day we'll talk about heart math or
because it has a lot to do with your mat, and there's another there's lots of stuff anyways to talk about anyways with that.
The different hertz we'll talk about another day. What do the different hertz mean? What do the singing bowls mean? What does a sequence mat mean, or a beamer or
there's a lot of different kinds
or those types of things. What are they actually used for? That's a good one. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, we should cut it off there. We're trying to keep these shorter, but we're still going in towards an hour there now almost. So we want to.
I know. So I just want to say thank you so much for everyone joining us today. Like even Kathy Connect Me. She says, "You ladies are great. Thanks for the laughs. Great way to start the morning." Thank you so much because we have fun. I'm so glad other people laugh with us. Not
we try to keep it light. Some days we get a little heavy with the conversation, but always try to bring it back to life. And
that's why we wanted to do this.
You got to laugh. I mean, that's the whole part of what I think we started this whole thing off was just the connection, the laughs. It doesn't always have to be so heavy and negative and stuff like that.
Right.
That's why I kind of wanted to talk about weeds today and something a
The
little bit
weeds,
cleaner.
perfect. I mean, so we'll tag that. We'll tag Ontario Foraging.
Yes, for sure.
And we'll tag Joseph with his creator's garden, and we'll whatever else, and the CX maybe, but that's for tomorrow. We'll talk frequencies and PMF pods and stuff like that, because I know you've been researching it as well.
Yeah.
And the pods and how they're used and things like that. So
yeah, amazing.
Perfect.
So nice to see you again.
Yes.
Hope everybody has a wonderful day. My husband came in from night shift this morning. He says, I don't feel like going to work today. It's going to be 28 degrees. I don't know how real that is, but 28. It was so nice yesterday. It's going to be another beautiful day. So hope everybody can get out and really enjoy themselves today.
Yes.
All right. Have a good
Toodaloo.
day. Bye.
Toodaloo, everybody.